everybody, welcome to the Fridge Gaming News. I'm your host, Mr. 6507, and there's a lot of hardware talk going on. A lot of rumors have just come out for the PlayStation 4, codenamed Orbis, and let's get into that. It's going to have 8 cores of CPU in it, powered by AMD's new Jaguar architecture. Atari should be proud.
Have you played Atari today?
Now both Durango, the Xbox 720, and the Orbis have the same amount of cores, so this should be a battle to the death. The processor that many of the tech people agree on is the 7970M, which means that it will be super powerful, because the 7970M is dedicated to super powerful hardcore gaming laptops. It's capable of running Battlefield 3 and Crisis 2 at 60 frames per second without sweating a beat. Now, the word on the streets is that Orbis will have about 90% of that. So, 54 FPS ain't bad, man. Now, with the power of the Xbox, all the games have been locked at 30 FPS. With the games being locked at 45 FPS, the graphics on the new consoles will be amazing. Now, there's a bit of secret talk going on in the Orbis that has this module called the Compute module. What it does is it takes tasks that you normally set to the GPU so they don't bog down the CPU, and it just does them on its own. Blast processing. Now, the tech guys have guessed that the chip size will probably be around 80 to 90 nanometers. What does this mean in comparison? Well, the PS2 and the PS3, their chip sizes were about 240 to 250 nanometers. This reduces the amount of power that it needs and the amount of area the data has to cross before it can be computed. This cuts down on things like the red ring of death and the yellow light of death, because there's less power consumption and there's less things to go wrong because it's in such a small area, such as the board cracking and what's not. Now here's where the differences lie between the PS4 Orbis and the Xbox 720 Durango. The Orbis will have 4 gigabytes of RAM, with 512 megabytes being dedicated to its OS, and the Durango will have 8 gigabytes of RAM, with 3 gigabytes being dedicated to its OS. Now, this is a turn-off between the two systems, which might actually lead to the Xbox Durango being less powerful than the Orbis. In my opinion, though, this year we'll be getting a war to end all console wars. Steambox, anyone? Now, the rumors are also saying that the Orbis will not have the DualShock controller this time around. It will probably end up having an LCD screen in the middle, or it might have biometrics, like the Steambox. Now, in other hardware news, Nintendo is combining its console and its portable divisions next month. Now, this is an attempt to make first-party games come out faster, but we all know what you want to see. Now on to some software news. SimCity Beta starts on January 25th. It's closed beta, but you do get a free hour to play the game. Sign-ups will be in the description. Bungie is showing off its new IP at GDC 2013. The console is called Brave New World, Bungie's new IP. Now, the IP is codenamed Destiny. Now, Bungie, I don't want you guys getting soft on me. I don't need any of that final Halo crap coming down in here. You're better than that. You're not Square Enix. Come on. Why did I go Brooklyn by the end of that? Steam introduced its new guide section 2 days ago, and essentially it allows players to put out guides, walkthroughs, facts, and make some no profit. Darn it! Naturally, it's available through the overlay, so you don't actually have to alt-tab out of your games, and now you can finally use that thing that no one ever uses. Now, finally, this is some news coming to you only from the fridge. Gamestop's PS2 used games are pretty freaking cheap, guys. I don't know if you've ever been in there and checked out the game selection right now, but they're closing and killing all their PS2 games out. All of these games, they're like $2. They're also having sales where they're selling buy two, get two. It's like bulk buying your PS2 games in bulk. It's amazingly redundant. I bought 6 of them. That's it for the gaming news for this week, guys. But remember, stay cool with the fridge. Say!